Welcome back, my DIY nomads. How are you all doing today? We are back and we're going to be doing another episode on the Peugeot Boxer. Oh, sorry, that hit me. We are, yes. I'm going to show you the van. It's going to look really different from when I last showed you, but honestly, the only really sort of real difference that it makes it look so dramatically different is the fact that I fitted the bed, which was just putting in 3 LVL beams. If you don't know what LVL beams are, it's basically ply glued together to make super thick, super strong beams. I've made like a small mini version of those, and now my bed is in. I think I still need to take it out and just refit it, but I've got it in there for like a check-up to make sure the parts will match up and all that sort of stuff. I ended up having to. Do you remember the block unit that I made, which houses all the electrics and part of the seating sort of thing where you extend and put your feet into? That bit turned out, I made it all really nice and flat and square inside the workshop, but when I fitted it into the Boxer, for some reason it mounted a slightly crooked. So when I came to fit the bed and measure up for like the timbre door that I will be fitting in the future, it was way out. So I had to undo things and move it around. Anyway, I'll show you the van. Looks really sick. I'm super chuffed. Here we go. Oh ho ho! Looks like an actual camper van now, hey? This is also the other added feature, but this is very basically attached to the van. It's just temporary, just to see it all in. But eventually, once it's fully mounted, all of these will line up with these shelves. And I'm going to add a metal black bar on the front here, just to stop stuff falling out. But it is going to be open fronted, and also I've been working away. My biggest hate with vans is this corner area, and I've played around with a few different ideas. That area still isn't finished because you can still see the grey in the foam, but this is pretty much what it'll end up looking like. So you've got the ceiling going to an LED strip, which if I turn on, there we go. So it goes the cladding, LED strip, another bit of cladding, and then we've got this 45-degree bit of poplar. This is the only ganky bit, but this is one of the structural bits. I could have built a box around it, but I think, to be honest, it would have just looked as ganky as it does right now if I built a box. And yeah, long story, doesn't really matter, it's not a big eyesore. But yeah, just adding in this corner area makes all the difference with the visuals inside the van. And also, I ordered the mattress, and I didn't quite expect it. I think I was looking at maybe a bunch of other mattresses, and I ordered this one without checking the height of it. But this mattress is so thick. It is so thick. Like, I was expecting maybe 15 to 20, well, 20 centimeters, sorry. This thing's like 30. So my foot space on the height here has dropped, but it's still enough for me to fully stretch out, which is good. And I also added in this huge table. So this is it comes out 900mm. These are 900mm heavy duty draw runners. They take 100 kg, so more than enough. And the great thing is I can pull it out sort of like any distance. So maybe if I was using the kitchen and I wanted a bit extra work surface, I could just pull it out a little bit or quite a lot. But then when my modular seat's in its like sort of lover's bench formation, I can just sit here, pull it out, I can just wet my laptop and all my other bits and work away and enjoy the fruits of my labour. But now that I have got the bed in, it's really made it all come together, and it's made me focus and get a bunch of other jobs done. The tank, other than the water level readout, is fully plumbed in now. This area is going to be filled in, of course, because you don't want to see that. And I'm going to have a cool little device here that lifts up, and it's going to have some, like, I was thinking like a cool alcohol drawer, just to be super bougie. Over here, it's going to be a timbre door that will lift up and go back in, so I can scoot in and out of the garage area, which has got plenty of space. And then I don't know if you guys saw this, but this is my pull-out bench thing, and I've gone for the Milwaukee pack-out system, and I'm going to put a bunch of Milwaukee pack-out cases and other units on there to make a really useful workbench. So basically, because I've always wanted to carry around a little workshop with me wherever I go, I'd have my boxes all attached on this thing, and this would pull out and it would lock out. I still need to add a lockout, and then I'd have like a little workbench here. And I was thinking in this area underneath where I created this, I could have like foam inserts and have like less used tools all stored underneath here. And it could even be like sort of more hidden safe storage. But really, other than making things look nice and adding this sort of like what's on the ceiling onto the back doors where the grey is there, you know, finishing off with these little sort of visual bits, there's like 4 main things I need to get done. And that is fill in this area by the kitchen, do the tambour door and that sort of frontage there, build the little portable sort of take in and out kitchen cooker unit I'm going to put here, and the biggest one, finish off the shower area. And then it'll be a fully functioning camper van, that at which point I can, you know, start the whole process of the really long process again of tweaking things and adding nice little personal touches that can take just as long as the rest of the build. But I mean, that's something, you know, that will come over time. Yeah, really excited how this is going. So today I'm going to look at the shower tray, what I'm going to do for that. I've made my life super difficult, as you know. I like to make my life difficult because every time I do my own van, it's one of these times, rare times, that it allows me to challenge myself, try new ideas, and sort of like experiment, really. I don't really want to do that if I was doing someone else's van, because if it goes wrong or it doesn't work as well as I imagined, it's, you know, it's not great for them. But I want to try out this sort of shower tray idea. So I've got the depth of the floor, which is what, 25mm plus, it's probably like 35mm, which isn't very deep for a shower tray area to fit into. And I'm trying to build my own custom one, and there's quite a few things I need to navigate around. The most tricky being waterproofing it, because if this doesn't waterproof, it's going to get into other places in the van. I'm going to be an unhappy boy as my van slowly rots from the out, like the inside out, which will be terrible. But I'm going to come up with a series of backups. So if the water gets through the first stage, it needs to get through maybe 1 or 2 more stages before it even gets to a point where it can start rotting stuff out or pooling and making a really bad situation in the van. So yeah, let's crack on. Shower tray, here we go. Also, can we get a little shout out for probably one of the longest intros we've ever had in a HughTube video. So yeah, thanks for following along. And if you haven't, please like and subscribe. You see where this Reflectix is, the wall that comes off of here actually comes in quite far, so that is the actual true edge of like the shower area. But what I've done is I cut out this section of the floor, and then I used, so Ben got me this, which was a shaper tool for your angle grinder, and this thing saved me so much time. And all it does is it literally eats away at wood. It has a bunch of these sort of teeth on it, and that thing shreds through timber and obviously foam. So I use that. And what that's allowed me to do is shape the subfloor, shape all this underneath the flooring, sorry. So that starting here, I've hardly shaved it off at all, but it going all the way down, it goes to basically the metal on the van. So there's less insulation over there, which is a shame, but I need to get that sort of slant going towards that end to get the water to drain that way. So am I not worried about parking on a slight angle? But the thing is, when we go to find a park up, I always make sure that I park on either level ground, or I find like a good spot and I could level it with these wheel chocks, you know, like wheel leveling ramps. I've tried just sleeping in the van on uneven ground, and it's, for me, it's the most difficult night's sleep ever. It just feels weird and I can't really get down for the night. So get down tonight. Yeah, it's something that I'll just have to keep in mind. But yeah, not a problem. So here's the underside of that flooring piece that's going to go in the shower. I've just been sealing it with a watered down PVA, but on the other side, I've added 2 walls. Now, one thing I thought I'd quickly do on the side is I would check if you just filled up that shower tray without letting any water go out, how much water could fit in it before it would overflow into the van. And yes, I know I'm going to be putting in some wood to stand on so it is like in line with the floor, but the shower tray itself could take 18 litres, which is almost double the amount of hot water that's in the tank. I know that I'm not using just the hot water in the tank, but that's a lot of water to sit in such a shallow tray, which is pretty cool. So I'm not going to worry too much about it overflowing, which is good. I'm going to get this in, seal up around the edge, and then we're going to use this really amazing paint that Ben's using in his Luton as well. It's tanking membrane, and you basically put on a few coats of this, and it fully seals your... it's designed for wet rooms, so it'll seal up the lower areas. So I'm going to use that in my shower tray, ready for it to take whatever's going to be put on top of that. So yeah, really exciting. It's going to be nice and watertight, nice and secure, no chance for water to get through. So for me, I've got like 2 layers of protection. One, when the wood shower tray goes in, it will sit in there really nice and snugly. Then that's going to get mounted in with a sealant. So in theory, that wooden tray, which is lined and surrounded by strips of marine pie and it's all going to be covered as well, we'll be able to take water in it as is, and then we're going to be coating it with that, which will make it even better. And then I might even put another coat or something else, just because it's that weird blue colour, and I don't know if I want that in the end result, so I might coat it with something else on top of all of that, which would be insanely overkill, I know, but I want to make sure. Boom! The shower tray is in, it's sealed. This is all, it doesn't need to seal around here anyway, because we're going to still put that top sealing coat on, and this is already like a waterproof, watertight seal and glue. But super happy I finally got this job done. It was a really daunting task, and now that I've got a good option and a way to go down, I'm super chuffed. For anyone interested, I'm going to get some really small aluminium right angle, and it's going to go round here. So in theory it won't be perfectly flush with the floor, but it's going to be bloody close. It'll be like 1 mil, and that will go over there and create like almost like a drip edge, which would be cool. I also did the other edges of the cedar. So now it goes right up to the edge of this corner piece. And then on the section above the door here, I still need to add 1 more piece on to hide the grey ply, but that's all good. I love the way that these bars fit in between. I know it does make the gap between 2 of these bits wider, but that doesn't matter at all. I just love the way it's like these beams of light going down the van in between all this cedar. Now I know it looks like in the background I've done a bunch of work to the van without bringing you guys along with it, but really it wasn't actually that much. The bed made such a drastic visual change in the van, and really all it was me putting in those 3 beams and putting in the bed slats and then putting the mattress on top. So it isn't a major thing. I will be doing everything else. I'll be keeping up to date with you guys, and yeah, we'll soon see the finished result. And then I say finished, there's going to be stuff in there, but obviously after you've finished, you can then beautify and add loads of quirky little bits like cool coat hangers, cool coat hooks, cool places to put like other sort of herbs and spices. There's loads of things you can keep adding to a home or house or a space like that. So really excited for that stage as well. It'd be cool to do like when it was first an empty van to a sort of usable camper van to a purely, completely, fully kitted out, finished van. It'd be quite cool to transition through, so I'll show you that at the end. I'm really happy I've finally got that job done. It was really haunting me for quite a while now, but I actually have a pathway, I have a line of jobs now that I know what to do and how to take them, and that will get me to a watertight, super usable, awesome wet room / shower room area that I'm super chuffed in. The only thing I don't really know at the moment is how I'm going to enclose it in. I'm thinking for the time being I'm just going to do a shower curtain, and then maybe in the future I can add something else, but that's all easily modifiable. Anyway, I'll catch all you DIY nomads next time.